Welcome to the deep dive. Have you ever wondered, what really makes the difference for people who actually achieve their goals?
Right, versus those who maybe just think about them.
Exactly. Is it that big rush of motivation? That feeling like, okay, I'm going to do this? Or is it something, maybe less exciting, like discipline, that steady day in, day out thing?
It's a great question because we all know that feeling, right? You get super motivated maybe after watching a video or something.
Oh, totally. You feel like you could climb a mountain.
Yeah, but then, that feeling doesn't always stick around, does it?
No, it definitely fizzles out sometimes. So today, we're going to really dig into these two forces, motivation and discipline.
Figure out what they actually are.
And more importantly, give you some real practical ways to build the one that seems to deliver more consistently in the long run.
Yeah, let's unpack that because motivation, it definitely has this strong appeal. It feels great.
It's exciting. It's that spark.
It is. But like you said, it can be fleeting. We've looked at how it's often tied very closely to our emotions.
Which, let's be honest, can be all over the place.
Exactly. So if your plan relies purely on feeling motivated, that's like relying on perfect weather to go for a run every single day. It's just not reliable.
It's reactive, you mean?
Yeah.
Based on how you feel right now.
Pretty much. It responds to those changing feelings.
Okay. So if motivation is that exciting, sometimes unreliable friend,
yeah,
then discipline sounds like the steady one, the one who shows up, rain or shine.
That's a good way to put it. Discipline is really about the action. It's doing what you committed to do, even when you don't particularly feel like it.
Even when the spark isn't there.
Right. It's often the kind of unseen engine driving success when we look at people who achieve big things over time.
Athletes, entrepreneurs, writers, maybe.
Absolutely. Think about elite athletes. They're not always jumping out of bed thrilled to train, especially when no one's watching.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Or entrepreneurs pushing through doubt and all the setbacks.
Or writers just sitting down and writing their pages, even when they feel completely uninspired. Discipline is that underlying commitment in action.
It's not exactly glamorous, is it? Doing the thing even when you don't want to.
Not always, no.
Yeah.
But it's incredibly effective. It delivers results consistently, where motivation alone often falls short.
So how do they work together then? Is it always one versus the other?
That's a crucial point. It's maybe less versus and more about understanding their roles. Our sources often frame motivation as the thing that starts you.
The spark.
The spark, exactly. It gets you going. But discipline is what sustains you. It's the fuel that keeps the fire burning long after the initial spark has faded.
Okay, so motivation gets you to buy the gym membership in January.
Right, that burst of New Year enthusiasm.
But discipline is what actually gets you to the gym at 6 a.m. in February and March.
Precisely, when you'd much rather be warm in bed. So it's not about choosing one and ditching the other. It's more about building discipline as your foundation. And then, absolutely leverage motivation when it pops up. Use that energy, but don't depend on it being there.
Right. That makes sense. Build the reliable engine and treat motivation like a turbo boost when it happens.
Exactly.
Okay, so the big question then, how do we actually build this discipline? Because knowing it's important is one thing, but becoming more disciplined, that feels like the real challenge.
It is. And thankfully, there are some really practical strategies. One thing that comes up again and again is starting small. Really small.
Not trying to change everything overnight.
Definitely not. That's usually a recipe for overwhelm and quitting. Instead, focus on establishing just one tiny manageable habit, something almost too easy to say no to.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, maybe like doing one push-up a day.
Right.
Or writing just one sentence in a journal. Or maybe meditating for just 1 minute.
Seriously, that small.
Yeah. The idea is to make it so easy that you can do it consistently, even on your worst days. It's about building the muscle of consistency itself first. Think of it like habit compounding.
Like compound interest. Small actions adding up.
Precisely. Focus on that tiny first step, not the giant leap.
Okay, I like that. Less intimidating. What else? I remember reading about focusing on systems, not just goals. How does that work?
Right. This is a really powerful shift in perspective. So a goal is your desired outcome, right? Like write a book or run a marathon.
The end result.
The end result. A system, on the other hand, is the process you follow regularly that makes achieving that goal more likely. For example, instead of just write a book, your system might be write 200 words every weekday morning.
Okay. So the system is the doing, the routine.
Exactly. It's the repeatable action. You focus on executing the system, on showing up for those 200 words, and the book becomes a natural byproduct of that consistent effort.
And you feel a sense of accomplishment just by sticking to the system each day, even before the big goal is reached.
Yes. And that builds momentum. You're focusing on what you can control your actions today rather than getting overwhelmed by the size of the ultimate goal. Discipline grows out of executing the system.
That feels much more manageable. Okay, so start small. Focus on systems. What else helps us stick with it?
Another key strategy is reducing friction.
Friction. What do you mean?
Making the things you want to do easier and the things you don't want to do harder. Basically, smoothing the path towards your desired habits.
Okay, like how?
Well, classic example. If you want to work out in the morning, lay out your gym clothes the night before, put them right by your bed.
Removes that little barrier, that excuse.
Exactly. Or if you want to focus on work, maybe close distracting browser tabs, put your phone on silent, maybe even in another room.
Make the good choice the easy choice.
Make it the path of least resistance. Conversely, add friction to bad habits. Want to eat less junk food? Don't keep it in the house.
Right. Simple but effective. These are things you can actually do. Another point was tracking progress. Why is that so important?
Seeing your progress, even small progress, is incredibly motivating. It provides concrete evidence that your discipline is actually working.
Like proof that showing up matters.
Exactly. When you track your workouts or mark off days as you stuck to your writing schedule or see your savings grow, it creates this positive feedback loop.
You see the chain of success is building.
Yes, and it makes you want to keep that chain going. It reinforces the disciplined behavior and builds momentum from those small wins. Don't underestimate the power of just seeing it written down or checked off.
That makes a lot of sense. It makes the effort feel tangible.
Okay.
One last strategy that seemed really important was self-forgiveness.
Yes, crucial. Because let's be real, nobody is perfect.
We all slip up, miss a day, eat the cake.
Totally normal. Discipline isn't about achieving some kind of flawless streak forever. It's about consistency over time.
So what do you do when you inevitably miss a workout or break your routine?
The key is not to let it derail you completely. Don't fall into the trap of thinking, well, I messed up today, so I might as well give up.
The all or nothing mindset?
Exactly. Instead, acknowledge it. Okay, I missed my workout today. Forgive yourself for being human, and then critically get right back on track tomorrow, or even later the same day, if possible.
Don't let one slip up break the whole system.
Precisely. One missed day doesn't erase weeks or months of consistent effort. Dust yourself off, recommit, and keep going. It's about the overall pattern, not perfection.
Okay, so boiling it all down, that initial buzz of motivation, great for getting started maybe, a nice bonus.
Yeah, it can kick things off.
But it's really the sometimes boring, steady work of discipline built through tiny habits, focusing on those daily systems, making things easier for ourselves, seeing our progress, and forgiving slip-ups. That's what actually drives long-term achievement.
That really captures the essence of it. When you look closely, highly successful people aren't usually running on constant high-octane motivation.
They're not.
Not typically. What sets them apart is their discipline, their ability to show up and do the work consistently, whether they feel like it or not. That commitment is the real superpower.
It's a shift in thinking, isn't it? Stop waiting to feel like it and start building the habit of doing it.
That's the core message. It's about moving from passive hope to active construction.
So for everyone listening, the challenge isn't just to understand this difference between motivation and discipline. It's about, actually doing something with it.
Right. Take one of these ideas, start really small.
Build a system. Maybe reduce 1 point of friction today. Track something.
And just commit to that consistent action. See what happens when discipline starts driving the bus instead of waiting for motivation to show up.
It really reframes things. Instead of asking, am I motivated? Ask, did I stick to my system today?
Yeah. And then maybe consider this. What could you really achieve if you stopped relying on inspiration striking and instead focused on building the quiet, persistent force of discipline day by day?
That consistent showing up.
That's often the unlock. It's how you turn those big aspirations you have into actual, tangible realities in your life. It's powerful stuff.